we need to bring in Mr. Yinusa. Mr. Yinusa, you've heard him talk about the independence of INEC. You've heard him also talk about the plans that INEC is going to ensure that this election is not compromised in any way. He's talked about what the Electoral Act has to say about vote inducement or vote buying, as the case may be. Do you think, with all that's been put together, that we're on course to get to where we need to get as regards to the elections?
Well, it's a working.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you again.
No, I said you've heard INEC talk about all that they want to do, all that they're going to do. You've heard them also talk about, he referred us to the Electoral Act, Section 130, and what the Act has to say as regards inducement and vote buying and all of that. But do you think, even with that document and the independence, as he has emphasized loudly, he says, of INEC, do you think we'll get that election we desire?
Well, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. INEC has been doing its bit, even though there are areas in which we have wanted being improved. And that brings us to the issue of balkanization of INEC to make it more effective. Now, there has been an waste report, which has been an excellent, very robust report that was being done by the former Justice of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Justice Muhammad Uwais. And then they were proposing about balkanizing the INEC into three. One, the Electoral Commission itself, which will deal directly with the issue of elections, and two, delineation of the constituencies, which they were proposing, but we thought probably that one should have been left with the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, including the National Population Commission and the rest. But the key issue now is about the issue of enforcement. The Enforcement and Regulatory Commission, which was being proposed both by Uwais, Ken Inamani, and Lemu report, all the report has dovetailed into that particular fact that we needed an enforcement commission that would take care of all of this particular issue, identifying those who are involved in vote buying or not vote buying, those that can be arrested and then be prosecuted, can be given, that particular job can be given to that particular commission to deal with. That will also reduce the whole work of INEC with regard to the issue of litigation and all, because that commission will be able to be responsible clearly for enforcement of rules and regulations with regard to our election process. That will help in very large way to reduce some of the problems that we are having. But the fact still remains that once we do not do so, we are only creating a very big gap that will create a lot of problem over the years that we will not be able to handle. And then the election will become a sham, and then we will all be looking for, it's going to be like a kangaroo nation. And then when a situation happens, now we are having about 91 political parties in the system. And these 91 political parties themselves want to win elections. And then if we have no room that will clearly give them hope that they can win election, we are only giving them the room to feel that, say, probably they are just being held as an handbag, and that is not good for us.
All right, thank you. Mr. Yinusa,
we've been clamoring for the...
Mr. Yinusa, I'm afraid we need to go on a very quick break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. And Mr. Yinusa, how can we ensure that at the end of the day, nobody is cheated of their opportunity or their right, and no candidate or elector or voter is cheated of their opportunity or their right, and at the end of the day we have credible elections so that issues of vote buying or cheating can be cleared? How can we achieve this?
When we do the right thing, when the police do what it's supposed to do according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, when the Independent Electoral Commission do what it's supposed to do according to the Constitution, and then the Electoral Act has been provided, when the people themselves react to issues, not those who induce them to buy their vote and buy their conscience, when, of course, all of these are being put together to work in the interest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, then we are sure. But the dangers are very, very clear. We've already identified them. So in that case, what we need to do is that leaders who are in position of power must do the right thing, not for their immediate interests. And that is where we get it wrong. Always, people who are in a position of power always take care of their interests, their personal interests, their family interests, their cronies and friends. And when they make laws, they try to make those particular laws that stands a particular short period of time. It is only when they are outside office that is when you will see them crying foul and trying to make amends on the laws in which they themselves put their hands to do. So that is when we can be sure that we are doing the right thing and the future will be much brighter for the future of our unborn children. But in as much as we are selfish and would not take care of the teeming population of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, would represent the 65% or 60% of the youth who are actually unemployed, when there are divides within the South, within the North, when there are interests that are bedeviling within the zones, people have been crying for injustice and all, and nobody is listening. Only those who are in power make sure that they gag you, they intimidate you, there's nepotism in the land. All of these things are the ones that are making it difficult for us to have.
Mr. Igini, in 30 seconds, way forward.
I hope 30 seconds will be enough news, sir. Because first, vote must count. The vote of Nigeria people must count. And the Independent National Electoral Commission will ensure that the vote counts in 2019 and beyond. Because if the vote don't count, then the instrumental benefit derivable in a democracy will not be available to the people because those who find themselves in public offices will not be accountable. So we are very concerned about issue of violence that political class are going to perpetrate in the next elections. And I recommend straight away that the United States, UK, European countries, the political elite in Nigeria, who have their families, their children outside this country, who are trying to foment crisis, their visa should be withdrawn from them. All of them, for the time being, they should not be allowed to enter these countries until after the 2019 election. All of us must remain here so that even the violence that people are planning, because you've got reports of camouflage, military uniform camouflage, police, even various security agencies have been decrying the armed buildup. We are calling that UK, European countries, all of them, all those who are having visa, the highly political, noted political class in Nigeria, is not be allowed to come in.
All right,
finally,
thank you very much, Mr. Igini.
The secrecy of the ballot
we would have to go, Mr.
is
Igini.
very important.
Thank you.
In America, 18 states have been, the use of cell phone in the polling station have been banned.
Okay.
In 2019, you will not be allowed, once you are in the polling unit and you are within that place, for the period you are given a ballot paper, and when you make your choice to make.
Thank you very much, Mr. Igini, who is the resident electoral commissioner in Akwa Ibom State. Thank you. And Mr. Tanko Yinusa, who is the presidential candidate of the National Conscience Party. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts. And that's the show today. We want to thank you for letting us be a part of your morning. Sunrise Daily will be back same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.